Hi, my name is Kelsey McCourt, and I'm going to teach you all about service dogs. So, did you know that any type of dog can be a service dog? Um, Now, typically, when you think of service dogs, you probably think of like a blind person using their dog to get them from place to place. Well, I'm here to tell you there are so many more types of dogs. But before I get into that, I wanted to let you all know that according to the CDC, an article published on August 16th, 2018, writes that 26% of the adult population have a disability, which means 1 of every 4 people will have one. Now, knowing these statistics, there's a possibility that you may need one or a loved one may need a disability dog in the future. So I wanted to inform you about a few that could tend to your needs. The first type of dog that I'm going to discuss is allergy dogs. The second type of dog I'm going to teach you all about is guide dogs. And lastly, I'm going to go over seizure alert dogs. So let's get into this. So, allergy dogs. According to usservices.org, published February 15th, 2020, allergy dogs alert their owners by an odor of a certain food such as gluten, peanuts, and eggs. So, allergies are something many kids struggle with more than adults, and they can grow out of it as they get older, which is why you don't necessarily see an adult with an allergy dog, and they're more for kids. So what they do is if there is like residue from peanuts, eggs, gluten, the dog will go into the room, sniff it out, and if their owner is safe to come in, then they will signal for their human to come in. And once they're in, they're safe, and they won't have an allergic reaction. But if it's not safe, then the dog will signal for someone to like clean it up and make sure it's okay, and then it'll be okay for their owner to walk in. Now, another thing to note is these types of service dogs usually wear vests, so that way they can put the medicine in the pocket, so that way if the dog misses something and allows their owner to walk in and then they start having an allergic reaction, the medicine is right there for them and they can get it immediately and it can help them not die. So these types of dogs can be very, very expensive. They can get up to $10,000, but if you're saving someone's life, then I feel like it's kind of worth it. Because their main purpose is to let their owner live out in the world safely. Now let's discuss diabetic alert dogs. So diabetes is when the pancreas doesn't make enough insulin or makes a very small amount. This happens typically in type 1 diabetes. So this is when the blood sugar is too low or too high. And this is actually what the dogs are looking out for. So if the human's blood sugar is way too high, the dog will alert, and then vice versa. So if the dog's blood sugar is way too low, they will also alert them because it is very dangerous. It can be a very, very dangerous situation for the human, and the human could also need to go to the hospital if it gets too high or too low. So that's the diabetic dogs are there to make sure that you are in check and in safe health. Lastly, I'm going to teach you all about seizure alert dogs. So according to Canine4Life.org, 65 million people around the world have epilepsy and 3.4 million in the United States alone. These types of dogs warn their owner in an hour in advance to when their seizure is going to happen. And they need to warn them just in case they are in a public place and they need to remove themselves, or they also give an hour in advance so that way they can get to a place where they can lie down, and that way they won't fall, which is also why the service dogs are here. So Canine for Life also states some other things that seizure alert dogs do, such as displaying alert behaviors before a seizure occurs, remaining close to its owner during a seizure to prevent injuries, alerting a caretaker, family member, or emergency response system, fetching a telephone even, alert device or medication, and lastly, opening a door or turning on a light. So seizure dogs can help in so many different ways, but the main reason for them is to help their owners know when they will have a seizure. Now, so every dog has a job, trained or untrained. I hope that this information I have taught you broaden your knowledge of how dogs can play such an important role in our lives today, such as alerting us if there's food contaminated in the room, and if our blood sugar is too low or too high, and if we are going to have a seizure. So I hope this shows you a little bit about what dogs can do in our lives. Thank you.